bullying,
the Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Toxic masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Hello ladies. It's time for us to take a look in the mirror. This is what toxic femininity looks like to others.
Love it. Get up. I told you to get up. Look at that ass.
I need Julie to put a jacket on.
Tushy, you know?
I asked her before we came on. Julie, you need to put a jacket on. Come on, I told you 2 hours ago. We know
Amber,
in chat room.
this is not, so I'm sorry, I've been flat out.
Well,
I'm out of here.
It is an issue. Go and grab a jacket.
We have hid behind the phrase that women are the fairer sex for too long. It's time to take responsibility for unknown actions. We have our own toxic traits that we need to address. It takes a strong woman to stand up and call it out.
Bullying other women at workplace is such a common occurrence, but it hardly gets spoken about. In social spaces, female bosses are sometimes infamous for ill-treating their subordinates instead of supporting them.
But it's not just men who create barriers. Researchers say sometimes it's women.
A 2012 George Mason University study showed when a workplace has few women, those women help each other less.
Women are less supportive of other women.
A 2014 survey by Workplace Bullying Institute found when women bully, their target is another woman 68% of the time.
For some reason, in my experience, women don't always support women.
We laugh at others for how they look.
Fat shaming is not a thing. Fat people made that up.
Should you be in here? You should even be in here, mate. Why don't you just leave now? Do yourself a favour. If you're so fat already.
We are able to tell the most heinous lies that destroy other people's lives.
Is now accused of making it all up.
Mark Pearson was making his way back home during a busy commute when he passed a complete stranger. In that split second, his life changed forever after she falsely accused him of sexual assault.
Well, the woman who was at the center of the false rape allegations that were brought against 3 Duke University athletes may now be facing a murder charge.
He actually punched me like a boxer would punch a back.
But when I looked back on that footage as soon as I left the house, it was the first thing I did was view that clip, and I got it wrong.
The prosecutor has charged the alleged victim, accusing her of making up the allegations in an attempt to ruin the deputy's career.
We are just as capable of murdering our partners, our family, and worst of all, our children.
Sons in the oven and turned it on.
A judge on Wednesday sentenced a Utah mom to prison for up to 30 years for killing her 17-month-old daughter Jaslyn after giving her an overdose of methadone.
Story of a young woman now at the center of a brutal murder case. The alleged victim, her own mother.
We kill our biological children at a greater rate than men. This is a problem us women need to resolve.
A mother was sentenced to life in prison on Monday for slitting the throats and stabbing her 3 daughters at their home.
We can be cruel, cold, and calculative.
In private, you already know it works. She actually begins to almost agree with him. Like, okay, so you want to kill yourself? When are you going to do it? How are you going to do it?
You're really going to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no turning back now.
Starting about on July 2nd, she starts saying, "Are you serious? Like, you should just do it."
In early July, after Conrad apparently fails to go through with an overdose of sleeping pills, police say Michelle seems not relieved, but irritated.
I knew you weren't going to try hard. I feel like such an idiot.
Why?
Because you didn't even do anything. And I poured my heart out to you thinking this was going to be the last time I talked to you. I thought you really wanted to die, but apparently you don't. I feel played and just stupid. We can be manipulative and nasty to one another.
Well, just on the topic of sort of online abuse that women receive, I receive a lot of it too. 75% of it, I would say, comes from women who are feminists. And
quite a few from you, plenty, I believe, over a 2-month period. It wasn't just February 6th when I was on Q&A. It went on for a little while, so that it got particularly bad in March over an article that I wrote about the late, great Bill Leak, where you set your 70,000 Twitter followers on me along with Dee Madigan and made comments on everything, to my appearance, to my upbringing.
We are just as capable of starting wars, and we send our husbands, brothers and sons off to fight them.
British sovereign territory has been invaded by a foreign power. It is a government's objective to see that the islands are freed from occupation and are returned to British administration at the earliest possible moment.
We laugh at those who have suffered similar pain as we have.
A three-storey flat, and I've had to jump off a three-storey balcony. I ripped all my back, all my legs, still not, and I ended up in hospital, because she won't let me out of the house.
It's not funny though. Can I tell you why it's not funny? I don't want to upset any of the audience because I completely appreciate the fact that you're here, but I'll tell you why I don't think you should laugh. If this was the other way around and a woman was sat here and a bloke had locked her in a flat and she had to jump out and injured herself, you lot would not be laughing. You would be saying, he's a complete nightmare, he should be locked up and that's disgraceful. But somehow, if it happens to a bloke, that's funny. That's not funny, is it?
We have our own problems. Good women need to stand up and call bad behaviors out. We need to learn to be better people ourselves before we judge others. Are we really being the best we can be? I feel we can be better.
The War on Boys. Toxic Femininity.
Is this the best a woman can get? Is it? We can't hide from it. It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off. Making the same old excuses?
Look at this picture. Look at that. Can you see it? Look at that. That's us on the left.
Yes.
And I forgot that I did that. I molested you at Comic Relief.
But something finally changed.
Trial has finally begun for Southern California woman who famously, it's kind of famous, cut off her husband's penis before throwing it in the garbage disposal.
He's all tied up, and he's probably hearing, he's probably screaming his head off.
Yeah.
But there's actually tape of it. She, for some insane reason, did an audio recording, and you could hear the garbage disposal going in the background.
With her screaming, "You deserve it, you deserve it."
I do think it's quite fabulous. I mean, can you just imagine that thing whizzing around the disposal? It's like hysterical.
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best of women.
Women need to hold other women accountable.
To act the right way. To say the right thing. Some already are. In ways big and small. But some is not enough.
I'm a lesbian and I have been in 5 relationships that both me and my therapist have deemed as abusive.
Because the girls watching today will be the women of tomorrow.
I can't fight on this car. I told y'all not to get my nipple just came out. Her nipple just came out.
Mean Girls.
Paternity fraud.
False rape accusations.
Parental alienation.
Infanticide.
Femininity.
Maybe she's born with it.
Venus from Gillette.
Female aggression is usually seen as not very important, not very deadly, nothing really to react to.
Of the first 100 women that came into my refuge, 62 were as violent and some more violent than the men they left.
5-bladed stroke.
I cut it up into pieces.
How she dismembered the victim and burned his limbs on a barbecue grill. That victim was...
Women are better than men.
No jury is going to convict me.
Nita Chauvin smothered her 9-month-old son. Amanda Webb put her 2-month-old baby boy in the freezer.
Female pedophiles. There are female abusers. They haven't been recognized. They've been able to disguise their abuse, I think, more cleverly. We're quite willing to accept that we are a superior breed and that we do everything right, but quite unwilling to accept that we could do anything quite as horrible as this. Women tend to use objects, broom handles, bottles. One woman said that she was sexually abused by rose stems with the thorns still on, being stuck up. Women can be quite cruel using objects.
Allegedly murdered her 4 children.
Drowning her infant son and the boy's 5-year-old brother.
He saw a mom take her 10-year-old daughter into the water and hold her under.
Accused of murdering her own 2 children and leaving them in an oven.
Casey Anthony.
You killed your children?
Yeah, I did that. Both of them. But they are more evolved.
The bottom line is women are definitely more spiritually evolved than men. That's really kind of where it's all coming from.
And you told her that there was a chance that he wasn't her father.
Yes.
Who it turns out is her father. And you did that because I don't believe in keeping secrets from my kids.
Yes.
You're a moron. You have a paternity test. Then you know. You don't tell her first because you feel as if you have to get it off your chest. Moron!
Between 10 and 12%, we prove that the man who we test is not the father of the child.
I'm not going to suggest that you do that, but look into my eyes and tell me. Tell me what I'm saying. Clap if you think that she should trick him.
Take full responsibility for what happens to you. It's one of the highest forms of human maturity. It's the day you know you've passed from childhood to adulthood.
They are just leaps and bounds beyond boys immediately.
I'm a 5-foot girl.
Slapped him across the head and said, "You are not allowed to hit me back."
Well, at least she was being honest.
The woman who was at the center of the false rape allegations that were brought against 3 Duke University athletes may now be facing a murder charge.
Lying about rape.
Those claims also not supported by the video.
It never happened.
She made the whole thing up.
Are you gonna make something up that I hate you?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Why would you do that, Phil?
All right, do that today.
The girl conspired in person and via electronic communication devices to falsely accuse TF of sexual assault.
Watch how this woman astonishingly punches herself in the face, later telling police her husband bashed her.
They are better than us. They make me better.
Pleaded guilty to allowing men to rape her 2 daughters, ages 5 and 6.
1992, 16-year-old Amy Fisher shot and wounded Botafugo's wife, Mary Jo.
At just 12, these 2 girls lured her to a wooded area where police say they stabbed her 19 times.
I called Jeremy worthless, piece of stupid, loser, liar.
Jeremy? No, you didn't.
But the other component was her turning around to her son and saying, "Your father's an idiot." 70% of male victims experience assault by a female perpetrator in the home.
She assaulted me with a steam iron. She placed it on my left lower arm. She boiled a kettle and poured it over my groin. And then whilst I was stuck to a leather sofa writhing in agony, she reboiled that kettle and re-poured it.
Sugar, spice,
And everything nice.
That's what little girls are made of.
She was brutally bullied by the so-called mean girls, the so-called popular girls, that she went home, went into a closet, and hanged herself.
Tanya Head was just one of 19 people who had been above the point of impact in the South Tower. But Tanya, you see, had a very dark secret. She wasn't even in the United States on September 11th. It was all a lie.
Happy wife, happy. Just the other night in hockey.
Well, happy wife.
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life.
Despite this, deputies tell us she was willing to fork over $5,000 to an undercover deputy to kill her ex-husband, David Leahy.
Earlier, Dahlia was caught on camera allegedly hiring an undercover cop to kill Mike, her husband of just 6 months.
You know, he gets 2 in the head.
Oh, what a cute little girl, whatever. You know, but I'm not 5,000% sure.
In a murder-for-hire plot against the father of her kids.
She was sentenced to 10 to 20 years in prison for attacking her brother with a knife as part of a plot to kill the entire family.
So you don't want it done in the house then?
Because it would be messy in the house.
Secret a lot of men don't want to tell you is you are the superior sex.
Hey, this is in Las Vegas. Babe, he said, I've been looking for you. I punched him straight in the face.
And take your rightful place as our better half.
Trial of an Orange County woman accused of cutting off her husband's genitals and then tossing them into a disposal.
I do think it's quite fabulous.
I mean, can you just imagine that thing whizzing around the disposal?
They're not to be like a total buzzkill, but it is a little bit like sexist. Like if somebody cut a woman's breast off, no one would be sitting laughing. Like it's not that right to sit around laughing about it if we think about it.
It's different, though.
It is different.
One's floppy and spin up like that. It's easy to do that. You're a nick.
You don't want to go home where?
With Mommy.
I know, baby. I told the judge this. I told the judge this already. Okay? Okay? Your girl's gonna be okay.